Good morning and welcome to The Point. It is Monday, January 25th, 2021. Thank you to those of you joining us on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV channel 7, 11 and 20, and good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9. It is an open line program here on To The Point. It's my first day back, so I'd like to hear what are your concerns, your issues as we go forward and plan for the rest of 2021, to know what issues that you would like for me to tackle. It's open line on To The Point, 435-2041. That's the landline number. That's also the WhatsApp number. Please only written messages on WhatsApp, and you can also participate on GBN, the Facebook page, and the YouTube channel as well. Let's go to our first caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good
Welcome
morning.
back to the land of spice.
Thank you very much. I was always here. But
Viral.
thank you.
Now, we have a little country Grenada, 120 plus Carrico pneumatic, make up this balance, to build any case. Instead of we condemning as black people, population is black people, leaders with black people. Instead of we condemning and criticizing and pulling and dragging one another, in any case, those not in authority and those other authority. And those other authority have the ideas when they're outside to build country, to do things, but when they come in, it's something different. People talk on the outside more than when they're inside. They will see all the wrong somebody doing when they're in, but when them coming out to do the right thing, they can do it, Let's come together and build a little country, Grenada, for the generation to come for tomorrow. If we, as a people, can build it today, they won't come in able to build it, We have to prepare for them. Our parents planned for we in the past, for all as fruits to eat and things today. So the younger ones who in this land right now and who, just idle in their life in any case, wearing their pants and their bam and open their leg wide and jogging their pants, in this type. Do something for the country go forward. Stay home and read and get knowledge about the black people history, get knowledge. Read, get knowledge and things. Instead idling and drinking rum every day and make yourself miserable and things as black people. Get wise and things, read books and things, buy books and read. Get knowledge, and know your history. Know where you come out, know where you come from. Because we get brainwashed from day one. And we still brainwashed from day one, from the white man territory. They train us, they teach us and all the knowledge, and we have it still. We don't know about Africa history. Get some history about Africa. Know where you come out, know where you going, man. We are great people. But when you fight on one who is authority as a black man, you're a white man, You're black and you fight on a black man. You train a black man. The black people come and help one another. And the little few Indian and Chinese in Grenada, them together. And we as black people scatter when they fight on one of our material things and petty things, killing one of our little things and things. It's time we get together, black people and things, man. We try to build this little country, Grenada. So what we could do for help Grenada. Who want money? I tell them every day, who have ideas, who have come together and invest and build Grenada.
Okay. Thank you.
Blessed day.
You too. Thank you very much, caller. It's open line on, I was about to say open line Friday. Open line Monday on To The Point. Landline 435-2041. That's also the WhatsApp. Please only written messages on WhatsApp. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Good morning.
And how was the holiday?
It was great.
Right, it was nice having you back this morning.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And JC did a wonderful job.
Good. I'm glad.
Very
Thank you.
wonderful job. So take a page from where he dropped out.
Okay.
He did a wonderful job. Nobody could stand, call and talk nonsense.
All right.
The radio station is not for that.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You did a wonderful job and you continue there.
All right.
If hell has rule, heaven must have rule too.
Okay.
Okay, my dear?
All right.
All the best.
You too. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, caller. Let me check the social media. Okay. Thank you very much. Let me go back to the landline. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom. Welcome back as well, right?
Morning. Thank you so much.
I'm just wondering, what is the situation with public schools? I'm not hearing anything. Our children are going 1 day a week, and it's a cause for concern, really, and I'm not hearing anything. Is there any news, anything you can tell the nation?
Not that I have heard. I haven't heard an update since the...
A long time.
Yeah, since the rules for the new school year started. I haven't heard any
So
updates.
right now we don't know if COVID are keeping our children out from school. We don't know if it's dispute keeping our children out from school. I don't know. But what I do observe is that our same children that cannot go to school are on the roads, are on the buses. Our same teachers that probably cannot go to school are on the road, on the buses. And our parents are on the road, on the buses, doing their own business, right? So I don't know. I don't know what is happening. Please, if we can know, or somebody who's listening and can give the parents a little update or the guardians a little update, we'd be grateful. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Noted. Anytime I have a question mark about some of the latest, I keep in mind that Mondays are usually when Cabinet meets. So they should be in Cabinet meeting today. Tomorrow, God willing, is Cabinet briefing. I am not sure which ministry/minister will facilitate tomorrow, God willing. But any changes are usually discussed at the Cabinet level, which is held on Mondays. So maybe tomorrow, please the Lord, we may hear something new or updated information in relation to school. The concern that you have about 1 day a week attending in-class school, I've seen on social media over the past few weeks, and know that the number of active cases have been reduced. According to the latest dashboard from last Thursday, we only have 11 active cases. So now that the numbers have been reduced from the 40-something to 11, parents are now saying it's time to get back to some form of normalcy. So let's see what happens. Good morning, caller.
Hello, yes, good morning. I actually did, while the phone was ringing, I put it on mute, so I didn't hear the conversation you were having, but I wanted to find out what is the latest situation on this COVID, concern is how many people are there, and what is the position with whether we are still on the curfew and things like that, please. I haven't been able to listen to any information from the government. So, as I said, I'm coming in. But could you update us on if you know anything? Because I also realize that you've just come back as well.
No problem. Thank you very much. From what I'm seeing from the dashboard, for those who are unaware, the dashboard is like a table, just the bare information in relation to respective countries and their COVID situations. The ministry has started to issue dashboards instead of doing briefings every time there's an update. They have started releasing dashboards. The latest one came out, and that update was effective the 23rd, which was Friday, 4 p.m. On Friday. There are 11 active cases, 148 overall since March 2020 to now. There have been 148 cases overall. There are currently 11 active cases. I have not heard an update or changes to the curfew, so curfew still remains from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. daily. That's as far as I've heard. There have not been any major changes, lifting of curfews, restrictions, amendments, and so over the past few weeks that I am aware of. But like I told the previous caller, let's see what comes out of Cabinet briefing, which is held today, which is currently underway right now. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Back. Blossom, I live just around my Limaki Mall, Spivey and Spiton Mall, Limaki Mall there is a Philippine lady. There's two dogs. One have a tag and one doesn't have a tag. And so sometimes they run away and somebody call and say, I find your dog, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the dog, usually they go on the beach bathe and run back at the small ones. Poodles or pumpets. I don't know which is the right name for them, right? And it's missing. Somebody told the owner they saw it on the beach at last. They went looking for it all about and they don't find it. So they don't know if somebody saw it and they take it because they think it's lost or if somebody steal it. So I don't know if you could just pass on that to give a glad announcement for please.
What does the dog look like?
It's black and white.
One of those cute little fluffy thingies?
Yes, right. It's only poodle or pumpet. I don't know. It's not mine, but I don't know if she have a phone. She tell me about it. I tell her if I could pass it on to her so she could get it.
And do you know its name?
No, I don't know the name of the dog now.
Okay.
I know the name, but it's a black and white. And the number I could give you is 407-1424. All right, it's my neighbor. 407-1424.
Okay.
444-4361.
407.
1424.
Mm-hmm.
444-4361. That's my number because it's my neighbor. I right here and she on the side of the road.
Okay.
So she came and tell me this morning she went yesterday looking for it and she went back this morning.
All right.
So she went and told me. So I said, "What if I got pass it on to her, please?"
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a nice day.
You too.
All right. Bye.
All right. A missing dog originates from Grandans, but if you see somebody in your neighborhood, it could be as far up north as Petit Martinique. A black and white little fluffy dog. We call them fluffy dogs. If you see somebody with a brand new fluffy dog, keep in mind that somebody is in search of their puppy. If you have information, contact the nearest police station or call 407-1424. Somebody on Facebook says, sometimes I wonder why we Grenadians like to curse and behave like animals on social media, especially when there is article or post on social media and they don't agree with your comment. I meant is they not focused on the post or article, but because they don't like your comments, they start getting personal. We like to get personal. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning, how you do?
I'm okay, first time caller on your radio.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for calling.
Yeah, pertaining to the COVID over the children, school children, and so on, pertaining to like 1 day a week and so on in school with the children.
Right.
I think that we have to be very careful and mindful. If they decide to open it out like 1 week, right? Because remember what happened in December. So I think we have to be very careful. We have to go in stages, take our time to start opening things in stages. We cannot go like 1 week to decide that like now for now to start opening out, either like schools and so on. Let it continue as how it's going, and we should be doing it in stages. We have to be very careful because look in St. Vincent. Look what's happening in St. Vincent. So we have to be very careful of how we go about to do things. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Agreed, caller. Agreed. Because while we may be saying, open the schools, we have only 11 cases, you never know. But I agree with you, caller. We need to be careful and mindful with how we do things. Sometimes it's not what we do, but how we do it. Agreed. Let me go to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, good morning. We heard of an alleged attack at Mungay Mental Hospital. Minister Thomas said on radio that it is being investigated. The big question after a month or more is it still being investigated? Somebody's daughter, sister, family got sick. They're there for treatment. It was reported she was raped, a fully educated young lady. Her mother traveled recently because she needed urgent surgery. So when victims at institutions given the support and not branded, please, the minister says she holds mental health close to her heart, so please do what's right. According to reports from that situation, yes, the assault or the alleged assault is being investigated, but officials have determined that it is a phantom pregnancy, which means it is you have the symptoms of the pregnancy, but there is no actual pregnancy. So you will have the morning sickness and other symptoms of pregnancy, but it's not an actual pregnancy. You can Google the term if you like, phantom pregnancy, PHANTOM, pregnancy, but the RGPF, officials of the RGPF and the minister, as you said, have said they would investigate the alleged sexual assault, and I guess we're waiting on the conclusion of that investigation. Let me go back to Facebook before we take the break. Somebody on Facebook says, children in public schools are going to school, but in a staggered formation. Given our current COVID status, I think they should be going out to school at least 4 out of the 5 days. Some of these children are all over the place. Let them attend classes, please, Ministry of Education. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Citizen Welsh. Greetings. How are you?
Good morning, Citizen Rollo. I'm
Just
great.
that you're back in good state of mind, and otherwise I'm highly energized and so on to continue.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
A lot of things we'll be looking at this year and so on. But above all, I make this call because you will realize that we're moving into the celebration of the 47th year of our quote-unquote political independence. I'm extremely concerned, as you may have heard me say from time to time, that up to now, in this year country, 47 years of what I consider to be a farce, that no one can show the people of this here country a Constitution Act, nor an Independence Act. Everywhere you go in the world, save and except military dictatorships, and even some of them, they do have their constitution, which are enacted in their parliament and sometimes ratified by their people in referendum. However, Grenada doesn't have that, but yet it claims, according to the authorities, to be a politically independent and sovereign nation state. I therefore call upon the legal and political authorities of this here country to show the people the Independence Act, an act being a bill which had been discussed, debated in the parliament of the country and approved and enacted as law. Show the people the Independence Act and end this farce once and for all. Call upon the people, tell them the truth, and begin to discuss the situation so that we reach a stage to a referendum on whether or not we wish to continue to live under this current state or to write our own constitution and establish our own independence as is right around the world under normal circumstances. End the farce now. Done with colonialism now. Have a nice day, will you?
Thank you very much, Citizen Rollo. You have yourself a blessed day as well. Let me take the break, and then we are going to come back and continue the open line here on To The Point. This is Classic and GBN. We'll be right back.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Stomp out careless or intentional bushfires, dead out. Youths, hunters, smokers, let's prevent bushfires. Here's why.
Yeah, bushfires. The shoreline's wet, crops should be bushfires. Can lead to food scarcity, threatened biodiversity, cause water shortage with a calamity. Bushfires and watersheds deplete water quality, threaten property, life and security. Bushfires set intentionally, water sanity.
Bushfires can cost millions in losses annually and are often caused by careless or intentional actions indictable under the law. Forests are life-giving. Save them. A message from the Fire Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Caribbean Open Trade Support.
Welcome back to the point. Let's go right back to the phone lines. It's open line. Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Trinidad, right?
Sorry, you're calling from?
Trinidad. I'm listening to the program now. I'm calling from Trinidad. I'm a Grenadian now.
Thank you very much for calling.
Right. So I was listening to the program. So what I feel we should do in Grenada, right? I say, we become a Grenadian. We have to be more safe, all right? We have to make sure we give them children a sanitizer in the bag to go to school, right? And what I'm saying, like, what they should do again, have the test, make sure they test the children before they enter the compound, right? Do not let the children and them go out of the compound unless school over. Make sure they wash their hands and everything. The teacher in the class has to make sure they do that to come in the class and everything and take the temperature. You find that sound better?
It sounds like better and a little bit more expensive with the rapid test that we would have to do.
I know it's expensive, but for we, what I say is to save with children's life, make sure they have that little sanitizer in their hand. And make sure that, I know it's expensive, but what I'm saying, to save the children's life and to protect them, we have to put out ourselves for our children just the same way too. You understand what
Agreed.
I mean?
Understood.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand.
Because that is the children, like, if say the child fall down, the first they go say, oh, the child fall down, right? Then we don't thinking about now, we should have, the child should have a sanitizer in their hand. Make sure, tell them to wash their hands and everything like that. You understand where I'm coming from, right?
Right, I understand, yes.
So it's going to be better for we too. We have to help our children too. Although the teachers have to help them, we, the parents, have to help our children too. Right?
Agreed. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah. I agree with you on taking the responsibility as parents, specifically the hand sanitizer, providing hand sanitizer for the children, and the temperature checks. I think is a good advice. The doing tests every day of the students would be a bit expensive. Not a bit. It would be expensive because remember each school has some 500-600. Some secondary schools have 800 students. So to test them on a daily basis may be challenging. But I like the temperature checks, so at least you can note if there are elevated temperatures in each student. That's not costly. It's just one machine that you check. But I like the suggestion of taking the responsibility as parents. WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, I really don't know what's going on with the road and how the repairs are done. I am not sure if the workers are just creating a perpetual job, as what they're doing makes no sense. You can count the days they work by the mountains they make. It is better they leave the road like this instead of the mountains they're making. I now have to take gravel to drive. I know how to take gravel to drive to Granatang Road. Please stop wasting taxpayers' money by giving it away to so-called road fixers. They are unfixing instead of fixing. I chuckle at the gravel. It's from what I'm hearing from some officials, it's not necessarily the work, but the material. The mix, cold mix and hot mix, you'll get different results from either one. Where they get it from, so it could be different factors, and I guess the workers are working with what they were provided with, the material they were provided with. Sand, gravel, concrete, not concrete, the mix, the roller, the rake, possibly. Good morning, caller.
Morning, my dear. Come back in any case,
30 seconds.
Now, listen to Rolo for the past time talking about the Constitution in any case and the independence, his false independence and this and whatnot. But the world recognized Grenada as an independent nation. So he alone talking, for the past time, I say he might not have the facts in any case on the right for his nation, but the world recognized Grenada as an independent nation for 47 years coming up. And the world didn't come to as an independent. No country was 100% independent in any case, everybody depends on each other. But we recognize in the world for the past years of independence. And all the bright lawyers and professionals have been screening and they've been seeking to find to dig it up and things were fine. He wants everything done as he say, it was done. But the authority, know about that. So why they didn't do lawyers in Grenada, internal lawyers, seek the benefit and let people know about what is what. But we recognize in the world by independence for a long time. So
Okay.
we'll hold on to it still, you know.
Okay.
Until the right time come, you know.
Thank you very much.
Blessed day.
You too. Let me go to Facebook. Let me go back to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, work with my WhatsApp. I want the Ministry of Works to know there is a big stone around the corner in the coconut, on the coconut, and the coconut in Mount Parnassus looking to move. We can't. It's very dangerous for the children. Start over. There is a big stone around the corner in the coconut in Mount Parnassus looking to move. We can't. It's very dangerous for the children and the people. We need something to be done before people die. Okay. Mount Parnassus in the coconut. Okay, I picture it. All right. Let me see. Back to the phone's ringing. No, so let me go back to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, remember, the gross national product is equally important as the gross national happiness. Please, these two aspirations are vital. Phone lines, no. Back to Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, some parents don't have jobs, so no money. Another Facebooker says, suggests, have someone at the door after break time to sanitize their hands when they're entering back inside. That's a good move, or let them just wash it before they come in. Most schools have sinks on the outside, so wash your hands. Soap and water, by the way, which reminds me, hand sanitizer should be second resort, not last resort, but second resort. Soap and water should be number one. All these hand sanitizers, aka alcohol, it's not good for the skin. So if you have access to soap and water, try that first before hand sanitizer. Good morning, caller.
Morning, beautiful blessings.
Morning.
Yes, I heard a commercial you just had, Terra. Could you explain more about that commercial you put on about Terra? I don't understand.
About Terra? I am not too sure. I think I know the ad you're speaking about. But I can't really give you the information that you're looking for. I would get back to you with where you can source that information that you're looking for. Yeah, I'll get back to you on the information that you're looking for. I can't really provide much. I know the advertisement you're speaking about, though. YouTube. Somebody on YouTube says, can you get someone who has a jackhammer to get rid of... Oh, you can get someone who has a jackhammer to get rid of the big stones. You can... but most likely they'll charge you to use their heavy-duty machinery, which is where there may be some issues. Because some people may say, yes, I'm protecting myself and my loved ones, but that should be government's responsibility. Why should I pay for the use of the jackhammer? I know my people. I know some of my people. Facebook. Hold on, landlines, no. Somebody on Facebook says, the problem I am having with some Grenadians, we are not calling it out as it is because of the political party we support. Let me go back by WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, we have to be mindful that the first responsibility toward our children are us parents and stop putting extra pressure on the Ministry of Education about our children's whereabouts. All right, let me see. It's 9:30, so it's time for me to take another break before the phone line rings. This is To The Point. Bills have to be paid, and we'll be right back.
Exploring the beaten trails, discovering uncharted terrain, connecting with people and places, giving a renewed appreciation for our flora and fauna. We are out and about, from the crystal white sands of Grandin's Beach to the cascading, and majestic tumble of Concord Falls, the meandering of the St. John's River, or our undulating mountain ranges. We are Out and About. Saturdays, live on GBN Television, our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. Out and About, rediscovering the untamed beauty of Spice Country.
Grenada's chief medical officer has ordered that all confirmed positive COVID-19 individuals, their contacts, and members of their household must remain in quarantine or isolation for 14 days. Anyone who fails to comply with this order will be in breach of the Public Health COVID-19 Regulations 2020 and is guilty of an offense. Upon summary conviction, that person will be liable to a penalty of up to $10,000. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Welcome back to The Point. Is open line here on the program. Let's go right back to the phone lines. Good morning, caller.
Hi, Blossom.
Morning.
With reference to the last caller and the person's comment, I don't think the real issue is that parents cannot take their responsibility as to the whereabouts or whatever misbehavior or whatever for their children. I think calling for a little bit more days or hours in school is for the children's good. Now, we have to remember that parents have to go to work. Not everyone is fortunate to have an older or elder child at home to look after the smaller ones. Not everyone is fortunate to have a neighbor that can say, leave your child with me. Right? And, I mean, I could understand in desperate times we ought to close the school doors or even reduce the school hours. But in my humble opinion, no, and I've heard it voiced around the place, we can give the children a few more days and take them. The stress is on them as well, you know. When I asked my little one that underperformed according to my estimate of performance, you know what the child, he's a 7-year-old. Do you know what the child said to me? And sometimes we believe children are not listening. Do you know what he said to me? Mama, do you remember the teachers were on strike? And you remember COVID locked us down? This was his remark. Right? So the children know they are missing out on something. They know that. So for the good of the children, it's not that the parents don't want to look after their children or they cannot control them, but the children are getting out of hand because of the situation as well. They are equally frustrated, right? So it's not that we don't want to look after our children or we cannot control our children, but the responsibility, the Ministry of Education has a responsibility. And I think that the school hours can be increased from the 1 day. Right now, my one grandson went to school last week for 2 days. This week he has 1 day. Right? And he is in grade 4, right? Now tell me, when he goes to school this 1 day today, by the time he socializes with his little friends that he didn't meet, you think his mind is on school? They're children, right? And I think we have to make a better effort. I think the children can go to school. Don't know whatever is the ministry's argument on this, but they can go to school like how it used to be, like the 2 days and the 3 days in and out. I think we can go back to something similar to that and be very cautious. And it worked well. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you very much. I agree with you, especially about the part of the strain. Can I say strain? Yes, the strain on the students. Some of them are not coping well, and it's not just because they don't want to be home, but a lot of them miss their friends. And I know that from speaking to my little cousins, that they miss their schoolmates and going to school. I know there are Form 5 students who are having a tough time because they only have what they call classes, and classes at 4 in the afternoon. That's another concern I have. But classes at 4 in the afternoon, and you're not getting the kind of attention and teachings that you would get during the normal school day. So I know of the strain that it is having on our students. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
Yes, we have the situation mentioned about the person from the mental home. And if you recall, some time ago, there was a situation where a young lady was placed at the SSU camp, and something similar about the authorities not doing what they were supposed to do happened. Now, Lawson, if we continue to have those, and it was just about the same time when this SVU, Special Victim Unit, was established. You know, in places, that's why Citizen Rolo usually say this so-called, because in places where there is proper structures, the commissioner will resign because those things happening under his watch. But we have to be careful. A lot of things are happening here, and people are not taking responsibility. People are not being held accountable. Look, the situation where the thing about called cell phone gate. This man is quoted to have spent public money on his own personal phone calls, thousands of dollars, I think hundreds of thousands of dollars. What does the Prime Minister say when he goes to Parliament? They're looking to see if his name is on the list. Come on. When we continue to accept those unacceptable things, look what happened in the north of the country. They spent millions of dollars, the Breakwater project, to do what? To improve. And now this is destroying the village. And people, we sit here and say, this is the best thing for our country. Come on, Grenadians, wake up, man. We got to do better than, like the NAR in Trinidad used to say, we must do better. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. You have yourself an enjoyable day as well. Facebook, somebody on Facebook says, most Grenadians, you're right, most Grenadians that send their children to school, the primary schools, they're definitely poor people. They're definitely poor people. Somebody else says, yes, the children should be able to attend school. And another writer says, yes, caller, say it as it is. That's in relation to our last caller. Say it as it is. A WhatsApper says, Mr. Prime Minister, you didn't pay the teachers and public workers when they striked. I agree. When they were on strike, when the opposition leader got paid as a minister, he had no ministry. This isn't fair. That's hypocrisy. Good morning, caller.
Citizens, Welsh, I beg your humble indulgences for 1 minute.
1 minute.
Yes. Listen, it seems to me that because my name is pretty easy to pronounce, everybody picks on me when I speak. Listen, the issue here is not about Rolo. The issue here is about the documentation. I refer to my contribution prior and the comments made by another individual there. The issue here is about the documentation which gives face to a very, very powerful issue, the issue of the foundation of the so-called state of Grenada. That is what the issue is. It's not about Rolo and the bright lawyers in this. If they're so bright, why can't they do sufficient research and present the document? Citizens, when you go to register for some sort of course or whatever, or even for your national identification number, they ask you, what's your marital status, end of quote, and then you say, I'm married. You say, may I see the marriage certificate? If you do not have it, you're not married. The documentation is my concern. Where is it? Pay attention to my questions. My questions are precise. It is not my fault that you all didn't learn properly and cannot understand when I speak because I don't speak Bajan, Jamaican. No, I speak proper English and my questions are properly set. So forget about Rolo because it's not about him. Thank you very much, Citizen Welsh, and do have a nice day, will you?
Thank you, Citizen Rolo. You do the same. Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says there is a new U.S. law taking effect tomorrow, 26th, regarding people who travel to Grenada, the Caribbean, and elsewhere from the U.S. Even if they observe the protocols while there, they have to get tested again and prove negative before returning or before they are allowed in the U.S. Is this the way things are already done in Grenada, the returning test specifically? Just asking. Yes, it is. Once you're coming into the island, whether you're a visitor or returning national, you need to provide negative PCR test results, which was taken at least 3 days before travel, 72 hours before travel. I don't think that has been amended. So yes, you need your negative test result before coming into the island, whether you're a national or a visitor. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Cousin Blossom. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
You're as glowing as the sunrise.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. You look good.
Thanks.
The golden shot. Thank you. Welcome to the golden world.
Thank you very much.
Blossom, January, a couple of years, I remember a sister of mine who have traveled over 15 years saying, there's be a month that is a lot of tragedy that's happening in Grenada. And somehow I find I'm experiencing that. Saturday we would have had, and yesterday, 2 sudden deaths that rock our communities. I heard of a gentleman who lost his life somewhere in St. David's after cutting a tree. And there was this young lady, mother, hard-working person, trafficker, children in secondary, in university, who suddenly passed away, and it's really hard. My heart goes out to the family and to everybody. And I want to, at this time, beg of GBN to please give our children a voice. So many times we hear the adults, and we have a lot of the children home, and we need to let their voices be heard. So, just like I'm speaking, every day the other adults are talking, let us designate a day for the children where we can air their concern or give them the privilege to talk and to do public speaking and, to expose themselves. So many times we bash them. They want to make a point, and we push them in a corner. When I listened to that young lady who did that poem at the inauguration, you got goosebumps. And opportunities like that, we need to give our children. We need to listen to them a little more. We need to let them talk, and we need to converse with them. And I do believe, that there are, just as they have traffic wardens, they have like public health wardens that assist with sanitizing the school. They place in the school for the duration of the day to help with cleaning and so. So this is, just a concern. Have a good day, Blossom, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Blessings as well. Thank you for your suggestion. Let me go to the social media before I go back to the landline. The returning Facebooker, the returning test, yes, you need the negative test. Even if you left here today and you're coming back tomorrow, please Lord, you need the test. No matter how long you've been abroad, you need the negative test to be allowed back into the island. WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp. Can you bring to the attention of our people the nature in which the present and former finance ministers pursued WRB Grenlec? It will have a negative impact on investment from the USA. The new U.S. administration may even investigate the treatment of one of their companies by the Grenadian government. Another WhatsApper says reports of rape must be treated the same like busmen and others, not pass file around saying you are investigating. What's good for one is good for all. Too much cover up by the government employees for one another. Time to do like the police are saying and stamp out dirty men in every sector. WhatsApper. Does the curfew mean anything in Grenada? You can still hear cars, bikes making noise during curfew. I can't really answer that. I share your concern. People on the road, 10:05, 10:30, curfews at 10. While I lock up inside. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Blossom, and welcome back.
Morning, thank you.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you.
Many happy returns.
Thanks. I joined your program late. but some of the themes that are coming through resonate with me. For one, the way we deal with our children. I think we have really set a bad precedent how we handle our children, how we relate to each other. And I still echo, and maybe since you were there, echo that I'm concerned about our children on the buses with the COVID thing. Although we have all kind of confusion in this country, people saying you have COVID, you have this and that. I am convinced that that's an issue that we must face it, and we have to face it. We have to deal with it responsibly. What is happening is that there's so much confusion about whether this is or not. If we say, okay, the buses are supposed to provide sanitizers, then that should be enforced. If we say that everybody must wear masks, that must be not optional, because we are endangering one another's life, and particularly the children. I mean, it's sad. I mean, when we talk nice stuff, we sound nice, but there's no niceness on the ground. And then another thing about it, some people are very fortunate. Everything is going nice for them. And they forget that there are a lot of us who are catching rhiannon, who have to, is a struggle to stay alive. So when people speaking about the singing, we must not try to paint the picture that everything is rosy. At the same time, we have to be balanced in how we do things and how we say things, because, again, what we should aim at is helping to lift the bar, helping to lift ourselves, and also face the truth. My fundamental problem of the challenge here is noticing how people evade the truth. They try to twist the truth. They try to sugarcoat, and even supplant the truth with lies. We need to. That is not good for the children, neither. Finally, I think it's unfortunate that we're in this crisis. In fact, although I was very good for using the word crisis before this thing begins, which we don't even know what to do. I think what we need is conversation, frank conversation, respectful conversation. We're not having that here. We're talking at each other. We're talking about each other. We're cussing each other. And so we need to sit down. All of us could contribute to the solution of what we face. And the problem is monumental. We just have to. Just something has to happen. If a couple of things, like Logan St. Vincent is facing the volcano and the pandemic at the same time, we have to check if a few other things. Look, right now, although we're facing we have to deal with the COVID thing, we should be also preparing our people psychologically and otherwise for we have hurricane season coming up. But there's no plan, there's no structure in this country for that. Okay. So let's try and build on those things and use the human resources we have in Grace. All of us have some strong points, every one of us. Let us build on that. Let us help to encourage people and not have people, get people go and backing at one another. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Let me go to the social media. Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, we acknowledge and commend the work done by frontline workers, the Ministry of Health, and by extension the people of Grenada in battling this unseen enemy. The management of this pandemic has baffled even the greatest of nations, and therefore Grenada isn't exempted from the challenges. However, it is approximately 10 months later, and there are some things we should get right. This is a call for members of the Bar Association and other entities to be guardians of the Constitution. A state of emergency is a period in which we are surrendering temporarily fundamental rights and freedoms, and we have to ensure that those aren't infringed upon. It is important to note, too, that the Constitution provides provisions for the protection and questioning of those derogated rights in Section 16(1). Not a Facebook, but a WhatsApper. A WhatsApper says, my concern is with education and the children who cannot make it with the Zoom classes, the children that need the one-on-one explanation with the teacher. The slow learners are getting lost in this mix, so I think the Ministry of Education has to relook the school schedule and do it one day in and one day out. Another Another WhatsApper says, government has placed a document on the wall in Balthazar, just a few yards from the Mellows Entertainment Center. If the wall has to fall, how would that warning be of help? I never noticed it, actually. Good morning, caller.
Yes, darling. Somebody had me on the phone all this time. I just tuned in, so only heard one caller.
No problem.
Do you have a special topic?
No, it's open line.
Okay. Well, I didn't prepare for that because I just came off the phone. I would like to say to us Canadians, the times that we are living in is not normal times. Not only because of the COVID, although that's a great part of it, but this season, this is a new era. And from what I am hearing by the Spirit of God, this is not a time for us to be fighting and getting. What the nation needs is to submit to God. Because in this season, what we are doing is calling the judgment of God upon ourselves. God is calling Grenada to repentance for many, many, many years, and we are not paying heed. We had some things during the last time. We say we have Thanksgiving March and motorcade to give thanks. What are we giving thanks for? Yes, there's a lot of things that some of us need to thank God for because He's with us. But unless we repent, we have to go back to 2 Chronicles 7:14. He said, if my people, not the people of the world, my people who are called by my name will first humble themselves, that means there's pride. Seek my face, pray, and then finally he said, turn. He's talking to the church. He said, turn from your wicked ways. He said, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive, and I will heal the land. But except the nation turn to repentance and ask God, and the church have to lead in that matter. We don't know. I heard a minister of the gospel was ministering sometime last week, and he asking, where is the church? Where is the church? And not only him, but I heard a lot of even the people who we call unsaved people asking, where is the church? The church better get its act together and seek the face of God in repentance and cover the nation in the blood of Jesus, because there is a lot of prophecies about destruction for this nation. And not only for Grenada, but for the region. But Grenada is who we're concerned about. The people need to repent, turn to God. The church need to wake up and seek the face of God in repentance to save Grenada.
Thank you.
God bless you, baby, and have a nice week.
You too. All right. Somebody on Facebook. I was taken with comments made by the Prime Minister in Parliament about they should be happy to have a job every time to give public servants what they worked for. The Prime Minister and his administration always have objections and come with this low underbelt blow. I think the 4% is needed in this time, and the same 4% will spend right back in the same dying economy we now have. And why the administration is not telling us the truth, where they find the mystery ghost money to buy WRB shares, they can't tell us. No regards or respect for the people of the land. And let me read the final two comments on WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, the person who allegedly interfered with the young girl at the camp was dismissed from the force, got a security contract at a children's home. I'm editing as I go along. The man is a pervert when it comes to women. The authorities must look into this before he forces himself on the children that he has been given the task to secure. Another WhatsApper says, school. 1 day of school is not enough. We can do better. Fix it now, please. Somebody is inquiring, what is the status of people entering Grenada who have already received the vaccine? I am not sure if this has been discussed in previous news conferences facilitated by the Ministry of Health. I admit I have not tuned into each and every one of them. Well, not in its entirety, that is. So I am not sure if that has been highlighted, but I would put this on the list of questions to ask if and when we do get an audience with the Ministry of Health or the Minister, the CMO, and so on. That would be all the time that we have today. Hold on. Karakou. I can't leave with the sister aisle. Somebody says, I want to zero in on Karakou. They still don't know what's going on with the Hillsborough port, and the businessmen are losing lots of businesses since the port has been moved. So I am urging Minister Kindra to come on GBN and give us the information on what is going on with the Hillsborough port. I will put in another request for her to appear on one of the programs, specifically To The Point. That's all the time we have for To The Point for today. There are still questions on the WhatsApp. Hopefully we'll be able to tackle them in upcoming programs. But that's the end of my first day back for 2021. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning, God willing. Until then, stay safe. Have a productive Monday. Continue to observe the protocols and stay safe. There are currently 11 active COVID-19 cases in Grenada, and that number could change at any time now that the borders are opened. So please be mindful. Wear your masks, hand sanitizer, soap and water should be a top option, and continue to be safe. Have yourselves a safe and productive Monday. JC is up next with Mid-Morning Buzz. Have a good one.